Does the universe have a transcendent cause? Today on Dean's Dialogue. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is good to have you guys here again. Thank you so much for tuning in to Dean's Dialogue. I'm Dean Meadows with Apologia Institute, and today we're going to wrap up our series on the Kalam cosmological argument. I hope that it has piqued your interest. I hope that you've done some research on it yourself. This is, once again, when we talk about these types of issues, these are just the general surveys of the argument. I would definitely encourage you to go and read the Kalam Cosmological Argument by William Lane Craig, or Reasonable Faith, or just about any apologetics book that William Lane Craig has done. He's the most prolific defender of the Kalam Cosmological Argument. And so to get a better grasp on that, read some of his stuff, but also read some of the critiques. Read some of Sean Carroll's critiques about it, Dan Barker's critiques about it as well. So, once again, as we've looked at this series on the Kalam cosmological argument, we've noted a couple things. Number one, everything that begins to exist has a cause. The universe began to exist. And so today we're going to look at the third premise. The universe has a cause. Now, you can go back and listen to the other podcasts with regards to premise 1 and 2. We're just going to start off by assuming that the first two premises are true. And so therefore, it would follow then that the universe definitely has a cause. Now, this raises another question that needs to be answered. What's the nature of the first cause? Why is it or why should we think that this cause of the universe is a transcendent personal being? Why would we think that? So here are a couple of reasons why we should think that. The first is this, that given that time, space, and matter came into being at a finite point in the past, the cause itself cannot be time, space, and matter, because those entities, just like you and I, don't create themselves. You didn't create yourself. I didn't create myself. The car that you're probably driving right now, or the couch that you're sitting in, or the iPad or iPhone that you have didn't create itself. So things don't create themselves in and of themselves, right? So this means that if time, space, and matter came into being at a finite point in the past, and they didn't create themselves, that means whatever caused all of this stuff to happen must be, by definition, timeless, spaceless, and immaterial. Furthermore, given that the first cause created the universe from nothing, that should suggest that whatever this first cause is completely and totally powerful, right? Also, I believe that the first cause has to be personal. And be like, whoa, stop. Hold up, time out, pump the brakes. Why must the first cause be personal? And that's another great question. So, there is no scientific explanation for the first state of the universe, right? And since there's nothing before it, and it can't be accounted for on the laws operating on initial conditions, there only is one other option, ladies and gentlemen, and that cause must be personal. What do I mean by that? So, certainly, as we look out into space, because of the laws of physics that are already in place, we see things like virtual particles popping into existence on the basis of those laws and then disappearing quickly. But what about nothing? We've talked about this before, that something doesn't come from nothing. So if there aren't any initial laws set in place for the universe to be created out of, then the only other option is that it's personal. That there's a choice involved in the creating of the universe. So given that information, The universe had to be a personal choice taken by a entity, by a being that is timeless, spaceless, immaterial, and powerful. So, given the fact, that this is the case, it seems that a personal creator is the best explanation. Now, someone might say, well, hey, what about, there are also other immaterial things that are out there, like numbers, right? But the thing about abstract objects like numbers is that they don't create anything. I've never seen, I love the number 100, but it's never put a Benjamin in my wallet, right? So numbers don't create anything. Abstract objects don't create anything. Therefore, given this information, given this knowledge about the universe, and given the understanding of the Kalam cosmological argument, it seems that the best explanation for the beginning of the universe is an unembodied mind, is a transcendent being that's timeless, spaceless, immaterial, powerful. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds a whole lot like this following statement. You ready? This is deep. This is theological. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Right there, you have an all-powerful being that's timeless, spaceless, and makes a personal choice. And then you have those other three things, time, space, and matter, in that phrase. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. You have time, you have space, you have matter, all wrapped up right there in the first sentence of Genesis chapter 1. So it seems to me, ladies and gentlemen, that as we make the cumulative case for the existence of God, and even more specifically the case for the Christian God, that the cosmological argument is a powerful argument. And if we get a grasp on it and we're able to put that into our tool belt, I think it's one of the first arguments that we should use personally. As if I'm talking to a skeptic, the first thing that I'm probably not going to do is go straight to the Bible, because the skeptic doesn't believe that the Bible is valid, not historical. But maybe if I use the Kalam cosmological argument and I meet that person where they are, and their belief in science as maybe the main way in which we discover truth or can know truth, maybe I bust out the Kalam cosmological argument and say, hey, do you agree with the statement that everything that begins to exist has a cause? Yeah, sure, I believe that. Okay, well, do you believe that the universe had a cause? Or the universe had a beginning? Well, no, I don't believe that. So you walk through the arguments that we talked about in the last podcast. And they say, okay, well, the universe isn't eternal. It's finite in the past. Well, hey, what do we draw from the conclusion that the universe has a cause? We draw from that Genesis chapter 1, 1. Maybe we don't use Genesis 1:1, but we say, hey, well, if the universe is eternal, then doesn't that mean that whatever caused it has to be timeless, spaceless, and immaterial, since those things can't create itself? Ding, ding, ding. Absolutely. And so when I'm talking to skeptics, one of the first things that I use this argument, and I would definitely encourage you to do some further study on the Kalam. I hope that I've done a good job just giving you the bare bones of it. But ladies and gentlemen, friends and neighbors, it is one of the most powerful arguments for the existence of God that so many people don't know about. Now that you know it or know about it, go ahead and study it more and use it. And I promise you, it's a great tool to pass down to your kids. It's a great tool to use when you're talking to skeptics. And also for the personal edification, it is a great argument to reinforce the Christian worldview and to reinforce Genesis chapter 1, that the universe isn't some cosmic accident, but it is intentional, it is purposeful, and it has been created so that we might know that God exists, and so that we might, as we look into the stars, that the heavens declare the majesty of God. Have a great day. This is Dean Meadows with Apologia Institute signing off on Dean's Dialogue. And remember, equip yourself to engage culture.